What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant, no hate. So, check this out, people. David Benavides puts Jamal Charlo on full blast and says he has a lot of holes in his game. He can knock out Jamal Charlo. And you know what? I'm coming down to 160 to knock you out and take your title. Now, Jamal Charlo, he has two options. Okay, and truthfully, there's only one that makes sense. Okay, out of the two, one, he accepts the fight and go in there and fight against one of the other elite fighters in the sport, or two, he declines. He look like a sucker. Now, this is a fight that should happen. This is a fight that boxing needs to happen. And before you guys who think Jamal Charlo's going to lose and when you want to see him lose or whatever, get all excited and start jumping up and down. Now, let's think about something. If David Benavides can come down to 160 and fight Jamal Charlo, then how in the hell did you get stripped for your title not once but twice for not making weight? How is it that you can't make 168 without ballooning up, but you can make 160? So, is this cap or is this really something real? This is what you got to really think about. David Benavides is physically big enough to fight at light heavyweight comfortably, but he chooses to fight at 168. So I believe he's naturally a bigger guy, a heavier guy, taller, lankier than Jamal Charlo. Fine, no problem. If they fight at a catchweight, like I've said before, it shouldn't be for a title. I don't respect. You can't walk around and say I'm the super middleweight champion, but I won the title at a catchweight. I'm the middleweight champion, but I won it at a catchweight. Either you fight him at 168 or he fights you at 160. So we know Jamal Charlo has no interest in going to 168. There will be no reason for him to turn on the fight with Benavides. He can't pull, oh, you got to go fight somebody else. Prove yourself. You ain't did nothing at 168. At 160. He can't pull that. If he does that, that makes him or exposes him to be a complete sucker, because you should want to fight the other, the best guys. Again, Montiel had heart. Man, he showed toughness. Getting rocked with big shots and coming back. But we know damn well Montiel is not even in the same league with Benavides. We know that. Between the two, I like both of them as fighters. I'm rocking with Jamal Charlo no matter who he fights. But at the same time, now, does that mean he beats Benavides? We don't know. That's what we want to see. That's the whole point. So I don't play the safe zone. Oh, I don't think he should fight this guy because he might lose. No, we want to see these fights. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. Hopefully there's no dirty judging going on, no shady referee business, something, nothing to take away, from the fight. For one, it's just talk right now. We don't know that anything's official. And two, if the fight is actually really something that's going to happen, then it should be for the middleweight title. This should be pumped up. Everybody should know about it. And this should be considered a super fight in this boxing game today. And if those elements are not there, and this is just, oh, it's all cap, he's going to talk, and then it's not going to happen. I just honestly have a hard time to believe, I just don't believe Benavides can make 160. I just don't think he can make 160. And don't say, I'm coming to 160 to knock you out, and then all of a sudden, oh, I can't make the weight. Jamal Charlo already we know he's not going to 168. It's not a fight that he shows interest in. But then he'll open his mouth and say, "Oh, I'll fight Benavides." But then, like I said, these fighters call each other's names and then nothing happens. If he can make 160, and that's a big if he can make 160, and this fight happens, this is something that boxing needs. It should happen, and it should be something where, hopefully, you want somebody to get the ball rolling and feel like it gets to the point where the ball never stops. Everybody want to be able to be a part of a great card and want to put great fights on. So, let's not get ahead of ourselves and start acting like this is etched in stone, because we don't know. Pause. We don't know if this fight is actually going to happen. Like I said, right now it's just talk, and we'll see what happens. It's a fight I'm interested in. Been wanting to see this fight for a long time, and I think it's one of the fights. If you look at who's who, I mean, like I said, I don't want to see. I'm not interested in Triple G. Triple G is not what he used to be, and I'm just not intrigued by him getting there just to get destroyed. Because with any fighter, For me, I wouldn't feel good because I beat a guy that's no longer in his prime. And for one, if a guy like Benavides or a guy like Jamal Charlo was to fight a Golovkin and beat him, people are going to say, well, if he was in his prime, he would have beat this guy. Or this wasn't the best version of Golovkin. You're not going to get full credit. They're just going to say you beat a man that was a shell of himself. So you had that fight, and now if the money's good, that would be probably the best thing that comes out of that is that you got a big payday. But other than that, what did you really accomplish in beating the guy that's past his prime? So right now, and if they're gonna fight, let's remember something. Benavides is like what, 23, 24? Jamal Charlo is like what, 31? So he has years on him. So if you're gonna fight him, don't fuck around and wait till you're 36, 37 or some shit like that, and then this guy's still, years younger than you and wind up putting it on you. And then we seen when Benavides fought, I forgot which Darrell brother it was, but you could see the guy wasn't what he used to be. Still had the heart to go in there and fight, but Benavides, he went in there and he did what he had to do and he won. And when youth is on your side, and it gets to the point where Father Time just kicked you in the ass just enough to where you're just not the same fighter, then to look back and you think, man, I should have made this fight happen a long time ago. Nobody can pull, oh, Benavides is still young, he wasn't ready. No, they can try to pull that Canelo Floyd bullshit. It doesn't matter, and it won't change anything. But I think this fight should happen. I just don't honestly think that if it does happen, that it's going to happen at 160. I don't think Benavides can make that weight. And like I said, the fact that Charlo has already expressed that I'm not a 168 fighter. If you fight at a catch weight, like I said, it shouldn't be for a title. But then if that does happen, then okay, it was just a great fight. But for what? What's at stake? For what? Just the fight, but no title on the line? And that to me just makes less sense. So we'll keep our ears open, see what develops from this, that if this is a fight that becomes official or not. But again, y'all, just think about what I'm saying. Benavides has been stripped twice for not making weight at 168. Now he's talking 8 pounds lower. He's talking about going down to 160. I don't know. We'll see. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.